Developing now at 5:30, plumes of smoke rose into the sky across parts of Mexico after cars were set on fire following the killing of a major cartel leader. And tonight we're hearing from some Portland travelers stuck in the country. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko. The U.S. State Department is still warning Americans in some places, including Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara, to shelter in place and to avoid areas with law enforcement activity. Airlines have also canceled flights in and out of those two cities, including those to and from PDX. Katie Bennett is a Portlander who arrived for an annual girls trip in PV last Thursday. She says they were having a great time until yesterday when things changed dramatically.
I think there has been moments of uncertainty. There have been a lot of helicopters flying very close overhead for the Mexican military. And just, I think when the booms get closer to you and you start seeing all the fires getting closer and closer, you get a little more anxiety. But things have really quieted down this morning, so it's definitely feeling much better.
Bennett says it is unclear when it will be safe to leave the country. Airlines, including Alaska, now have flexible travel waivers in place, at least for the next few days. El Mencho, that is the drug kingpin targeted in the Mexican military operation, was a key target for both Mexican and American law enforcement. The U.S. even labeling his group a terror organization. For more specifics on the security alert, you want to check the State Department's Mexico country page.
Well, President Trump's State of the Union speech is tomorrow night, and a new poll is finding many Americans say the country is worse off than a year ago.
Meanwhile, at least a dozen Democrats, and that number is jumping as we speak, plan to boycott the president's address. Monica Alba has a preview.
Thank you very much.
As the president looks ahead to his next year in office at the State of the Union, he's expected to look back at the first year of his second term.
And I'm making a speech tomorrow night, and you'll be hearing me say that. I mean, it's going to be a long speech because we have so much to talk about.
An NPR Marist poll, though, shows 57% of the country doesn't feel the union is strong. The president began implementing his immigration policy almost immediately, carrying out raids on sanctuary cities, arresting and deporting hundreds of thousands of migrants across the country. But the sweeping raids have sometimes turned violent, with protesters lashing out at masked ICE and border agents. In Minneapolis, two Americans, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, were both shot and killed by federal agents. The president says his administration could have used a softer touch.
It should have not happened. It was a very sad, to me, it was a very sad incident, two incidents.
But he says he is also dealing with hardened criminals.
But I'm going to always be with our great people of law enforcement, ICE, police. We have to back them. If we don't back them, we don't have a country.
To the economy, which the president has called the strongest ever.
I've won affordability. I had to go out and talk about it.
He has touted low inflation, which has slowed over the year. But while some prices have gone down, many prices remain high, with Americans paying more for staples like food and energy. The president leveled tariffs on dozens of countries and raked in money from companies. But Friday, the Supreme Court struck down many of those tariffs, drawing the president's ire.
I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country.
On Saturday, Mr. Trump said he would impose a 15% tariff on countries.
We'll take in more money, and we'll be a lot stronger for it.
And as the president previews what's to come, this speech may also be a bit of a test run for Republicans as they figure out their messaging in the run-up to the midterm elections. Monica Alba, NBC News, Washington.
Oregon Senators Jeff Merkley and Ron Wyden are among the Democratic lawmakers who say they'll be boycotting the speech. Instead, they say they're going to co-host a virtual town hall that you can see on YouTube. Congresswoman Maxine Dexter says she is sending Lisa Phillips, a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse, to sit in her place. The NBC News team will have special coverage of the president's speech. You can watch the State of the Union live tomorrow evening right here on KGW, starting at 6 o'clock.
To Washington County now, where deputies dealt with a handful of swatting calls over the weekend. That's when someone makes a false emergency report in order to get law enforcement to respond. So the first call came in early Sunday. Deputies say someone reported a shooting at the Commons at Avalon Park Apartments in Tigard, only to discover it was fake. Then authorities were called back to the same complex when someone said they shot their mother and were holding their 7-year-old brother hostage. A SWAT team went, but found out that call was fake too.
It's not terribly uncommon. It doesn't happen all the time, but it is certainly a growing concern for us as swatting calls come in. And when I mean swatting calls, it means a call that isn't really happening. You know, someone is calling into dispatch, reporting an emergency that isn't happening.
The sheriff's office says calls like this over the last few months seem to have originated near Highway 99W in Tigard. Oregon lawmakers are working on a bill that would increase the penalties for swatting.
Portland police have arrested a suspected prolific graffiti vandal known by the tag name Rango. Authorities say over several years, 22-year-old William Matthews tagged businesses, homes, and public spaces. The damage here estimated in the tens of thousands of dollars. Officers searched his car and trailer in the Cedar Mill area last week. They say they seized more than 150 cans of spray paint, 14 one-gallon buckets of paint, rollers, brushes, custom Rango stickers, and paint-stained clothing. Matthews is facing at least 8 counts of criminal mischief.
In an update, a judge sentenced a Clackamas County man to 25 years in prison today for murdering a mail carrier.
Thomas Schultz was in the courtroom.
As you can imagine, it was a hard day for both families. The victim, Tristan Thomas's, and Chad Westover's. Though at the end of the day, Thomas's family says justice has been served. Back in September of 2024, 53-year-old Chad Westover stabbed Tristan Thomas with a kitchen knife. Thomas was a local mail carrier. It happened at an apartment complex on Southeast Sunnyside Road. Prosecutors say it started after Thomas had a dispute with his neighbor, Christopher Stewart, over a parking spot. Stewart is Westover's cousin. During the dispute, the district attorney's office says Thomas pepper sprayed Stewart. Later that night, Thomas encountered Stewart's daughter, which is when Chad Westover confronted Thomas. A scuffle began and Westover stabbed Thomas several times. Thomas died days later at a hospital. Today, Westover apologized to Thomas's family. And while Thomas's family says justice was served, they're concerned about his 13-year-old daughter, who now is growing up without a father.
If I could go back in time, this wouldn't happen. And my instincts kicked in. I'm sorry.
You know, she's going to go without having a father for the rest of her life, and the fact that he was murdered is going to really have an impact on her growing up.
Though defense attorneys tell us that Westover stabbed Thomas in self-defense, they're now pushing for a new trial. Litigation over whether there will be a new trial is set to begin, according to prosecutors, on March 31st. In Clackamas County, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Now to a traffic impact alert. Expect some delays for drivers headed south on I-5 out of Portland. There is a rockfall near the South Corbett Avenue overpass. ODOT shared these photos with us and say heavy rainfall likely caused it. There's netting on the slope that usually catches the rocks, but this was a bit bigger than usual. You can see the backup there. ODOT has 2 of the lanes open and a third, they say, should be open soon. We'll keep it posted.
Oh, a reminder that the historic Columbia River Highway is set to partially shut down on weekdays starting this week for the next 3 weeks. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., ODOT crews will be out there removing hazardous trees and loose rock between Larch Mountain Road and Crown Point, the Vista House. December storms triggered landslides, and while temporary repairs allowed it to reopen, there's still a lot of cleanup to be done.
Next at 5, a massive snowstorm blanketing the Northeast. The impacts we're seeing across the country tonight.
Plus, hear from the proud grandma of 2 now gold medal winners and what it means to her to see them achieve their dreams. Matt?
Well, that's pretty cool, and it's cool enough. Timberline for snow to fall. There is snow in the air right now, as a matter of fact. It's barely cold enough, 32 degrees, but there's been 4 inches of new snow, and there's a bit more on the way, and then the snow level will drop later in the week. But by then, we're going to dry out. We'll talk about the rain that we get tonight, tomorrow morning, too.
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Welcome back. A monster bomb cyclone is battering the Northeast with widespread blizzard conditions, knocking out power and burying towns.
19 inches in Central Park. We're talking 2 feet of snow from Pennsylvania to New York to Connecticut to Rhode Island. Michael Yoshida's in Boston with the latest.
Wild winter weather slamming the Northeast.
We're sort of a foot and a half under snow. It's a wicked nor'easter.
A massive bomb cyclone putting more than 40 million people under blizzard warnings and grinding travel to a halt.
We need residents to really stay home and heed that warning.
At least 7 states have received a foot of snow or more, and at least 4 states have been buried under at least 2 feet.
This is the worst storm in over a decade for us.
The heavy snow and hurricane-force wind gusts creating whiteout conditions, downing trees and power lines, leaving thousands in the dark.
We had about over 5,000 public workers, public utility workers across the state deployed. They're really getting people back up and online as quickly as possible.
New York receiving the most snow from a single storm in over 5 years.
Since last night, New York City has been in near blizzard conditions. Conditions have begun to moderate, but there is still more to come.
As the storm tracks north, blizzard conditions wreaking havoc on much of New England. In Boston, heavy, wet snow, wind gusts over 40 miles per hour, and a quarter-mile visibility making navigation treacherous.
Don't go out if you don't need to.
As some enjoy winter wonderland,
we look forward to it and the town just shuts down completely.
Others face a nightmare.
We're just in the airport. We don't know what we're going to do.
More than 10,000 flights have been canceled from Sunday to Tuesday, according to FlightAware, stranding travelers across the region. In Boston, I'm Michael Yoshida.
All right, so a quick check of flights in and out of PDX. The airport showing 8 delayed and 6 canceled. If you're headed into or near the Northeast or Puerto Vallarta or Guadalajara, Mexico, have another check on your flight status before you head out. Keep in mind, of course, with disruptions like this, there can often be a domino effect on aircraft crews and flight times, even across the country.
I feel for everybody on the East Coast having to deal with like 2 feet of snow.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a lot.
also thinking, I'm so grateful.
Once
we
again,
don't have
to be
that.
living right here. Yeah.
Kids are loving it. They're just loving it
I'm
back
sure,
there. Big
I'm
old
sure.
snow day, and I'm sure some places will get another one tomorrow too. Let me show you this storm as it developed, and it truly was a bomb cyclone. The definition of that is a storm's central pressure has to drop 24 millibars. A millibar is a measure of a unit of pressure in the atmosphere. 24 millibars in 24 hours. This one easily did that. And you can see it on, and this goes from nighttime to daytime, which is why you see that shading and the visibility increase. But look at the central part of the storm right there, just southeast of New England. And the snow reports have really been impressive. Some saying this is even exceeding the big blizzard of 1978, which is a massive storm in the Northeast. But we've seen several snow reports here. There's one of 36 inches in Warwick, Rhode Island. Yep, 3 feet there. And in the same area, they're getting wind gusts over 70 miles an hour. So yeah, it has been a big one. Big nor'easter, blizzard, bomb cyclone, all of those apply to this one. Portland right now, we're at 42. The winds are light. The rain is falling, continues to fall, and it's gone from heavy to light and heavy to light. It'll continue to be steady rain, not showers, but steady rain as we go through the evening hours tonight, occasionally getting heavy. Heaviest rain, though, has been down in southern Oregon. Now, there's it looks like there's less rain here, but there's a bit of a gap in the radar coverage from the Medford radar to the Portland radar, so that's why it looks lighter around Eugene. But it has not been light in Eugene. They've had double plus what we've had in Portland today, 2.2 inches there. Add another inch to that for Coos Bay and North Bend. So it's really come down hard in this zone because that's where the front has stalled on out. Meanwhile, to the north, very pedestrian amounts. Seattle had a half an inch. That's respectable, right? But nothing like what we've been seeing in Oregon. 48 was our high today, a little below average for this day. But look at the 50s arcing from Joseph. Joseph was warmer than we were in Portland today. That's rare for February. Joseph, Prineville, Bend, Eugene, Roseburg, down to the south coast. So that's the warm sector. We're not in it. And again, the rain has helped keep things cool too. So let's widen the view a bit. Low pressure centered here, this atmospheric river originating east of Hawaii in the deep tropics. And so it's sending the stream of moisture right over us. Largely beneficial for us. We get some decent rain and some mountain snow too. The snow level has gone up, but luckily it's still snowing on most of the ski slopes on Mount Hood and down at Mount Baxter. The wind's not much. The rain will become a little more moth-eaten tomorrow and then break up into showers tomorrow afternoon. And I left a few showers in for Wednesday morning, but I think that is largely a dry day as we begin to clear out. Watch what happens here though. This is that area of low pressure. The atmospheric river is in this zone right here, right? Well, this area of low pressure backs off to the south and west. So we dry out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but then the remnants of that thing come back to the west coast on Sunday in a much weakened state, but it'll produce a few showers, likely southern Oregon. I threw a few into our forecast, but we may end up with a completely dry weekend, so it's not a big deal at all. 42 right now, lots of puddles on the roads out there, freezing level 6,400 feet, which means we're getting snow down to about 5,000 feet. So again, the slopes are getting snow, good base building snow. Rain overnight turns to showers on the coast tomorrow. Highs will be around 50 to 51 in the valleys. We're also looking at rain heaviest down around Eugene and Corvallis and then down to the south coast. And then it turns to showers even there late in the day tomorrow. Up in the Cascades, it'll be snow. I'm only going to give you 2 to 4 inches because it's a very heavy, wet snow. Snow above about 5,000 to 5,500 feet, rain below. So that means the passes are just rain, which isn't bad. Rain in central and eastern Oregon, too. You don't escape. It's still warm in Bend, but cooling off in Pendleton, LeGrand, and Joseph. And in the Gorge, rainy. We'll see east winds, but they're not a big deal. They'll be light in Portland. Rain tonight finally turns to showers and breaks up tomorrow. Tomorrow's high of 49, but look, it warms up. We're 51 on Wednesday, 53 on Thursday. Friday's 54, Saturday 55. A little cooler on Sundays. We catch some clouds. And then back to up to 58 on Mondays. We begin the month of March on a warm note.
Yeah, we need that for sure.
I know we've had so much rain, but I'm also now so happy about this little dry stretch we've got.
Yeah, and we'll continue to get mountain snow in March.
Perfect. Thanks, Matt. Okay, I love a deal. And if you love a deal too, listen up. We're talking spring break deals and how to get the most bang for your buck. That's next.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Welcome back. While we're hovering around 40 degrees and the northeast is covered in snow, we thought we'd treat you. It's a live look from Lahaina on the island of Maui, where it's a breezy 70-something degrees. A community, of course, that's been through so much since the 2023 wildfires there. But this shot, courtesy of EarthCam.
Yeah, lovely. I love getting a shot where it's nice and warm. Then my brain just goes there for a little vacation.
Feeling it right now.
Speaking of getting away, if you haven't booked a spring break vacation yet, there is still plenty of time to do it.
Jen Sullivan has some tips on how to score some hot deals.
Are you tired of the snow and cold weather? it's not too late to book a spring getaway.
There are loads of places that still have availability and places that you can find great deals.
Emily Kaufman, known as the Travel Mom, says if you're looking for somewhere warm, all-inclusive resorts are great for families.
They're a great way to stick to a budget, and you get so much value. Your accommodations, your meals.
Looking for something adventurous like skiing? If you book at a Vail Resort, which are located at various ski towns, you can get $100 or more off per lift ticket if you book at least 4 weeks in advance.
That's a savings of 30%.
Kaufman recommends Keystone Resort for families. There's one located right outside of Breckenridge, Colorado. If you don't want to splurge on a long hotel stay, Kaufman says check out Resort Pass. They sell day passes to hotels and spas at more than 2,500 locations in the U.S., Caribbean, Mexico, and parts of South America. When you're planning your trip, check out the community's Convention and Visitors Bureau because they'll often advertise special deals on local activities. Kaufman says being flexible with your travel dates will help keep down the cost, but that can be tricky when you're tied to the school calendar.
Flights are going to be challenging because it's all about supply and demand.
Kaufman suggests checking alternate airports around your destination city because prices can fluctuate.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
All right, bringing home the gold for Grandma, the family hockey history behind 2 of Team USA's best. That's coming up next.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
As a family, I mean, we had so many people from past teams call us before games, and we got everyone's letters, and we read all of them, and I just feel like USA Hockey's done a really good job through the program and building that family aspect, and I've known some of these guys since I was 7, 8 years old, so it's crazy.
I love that. That's Quinn Hughes. He and his brother Jack both play for Team USA men's hockey, which you can imagine made the team's gold medal that much sweeter for everyone watching back at home.
And that includes one very proud grandmother. Noelle Walker has the story.
When Quinn and Jack Hughes stood side by side in the gold medal ceremony,
so proud.
Their grandmother, Penny Weinberg, sat in her North Dallas living room beaming.
It's amazing. I mean, just amazing. Just amazing. And that Jack got it with his teeth knocked out. Hopefully he'll get them fixed.
This was one of the photos texted to Penny today. A front tooth lost, an Olympic gold medal gained. But long before her grandsons took to the ice, this grandmother, affectionately called Gigi, knew something about the hazards of the sport. These hockey trophies are for Penny's daughter, Ellen Weinberg Hughes.
I mean, she wanted to play, and she did. So the rest is history.
NBC5 documented some of that history when Ellen was a young player.
Number 22 on the Dallas Pee Wee team is Ellen Weinberg.
The only girl on an all-boys hockey team.
Cute.
We showed the archive news story to her mom.
Someday she would like to play professional hockey.
Well,
Ellen's 3 sons all play in the NHL.
Jeff Hughes wins it! The golden goal for the United States!
Now 2 of them are Olympic gold medalists. You could feel her rink-side joy all the way in North Texas.
I couldn't be more proud of them as hockey players, but I'm just as proud of them as I am of being people.
Wow, that is so special. I love her thoughts on that.
And it just reminds us behind every athlete is a family, community, a village, whatever you want to call it, right? It
All
takes
that support.
A lot to push them in that direction. Congratulations to everybody. I can't believe the games are over, by the way.
Sad.
It's been a great 2 weeks. We'll stick around for another full hour of local news and weather coming up in just 2 minutes.
In the meantime, let's check out this view from our seaside sky cam. Nice little night out there.
Yeah,
Loving the
surf in
waves.
action.
I know, right?
How about that?
Our top stories straight ahead.